Gundam.tk presents Gundam Astray, Red Frame. Hey, welcome back everybody, Robert184 from Gundam.tk, and I'm going to be wrapping up with my final thoughts on the Red Frame Astray Master Grade. I've got to start with the likes because there's a lot of them. And the first one is that they give you this free action base. Well, it's not free, you pay for it in the plastic. But anyway, the idea that they give it to you addresses the fact that of course you're going to have weight issues with something ridiculously large as this sword. But the fact that they give this to you is something that's great, and my only tiny nitpicking point is that if this isn't clear, it would go better with the action bases I already have. But that's just me complaining. Otherwise, the tactical arms itself, at the very beginning, I thought it was a gimmick, and I still do, but I have to forgive it for the simple fact that it's surprisingly solid and well built. It's fun to build, it's fun to transform, and I think it looks really good in some of its modes, though I'll probably never use some of its modes in the future. My only complaints is that in some of the modes, like Delta mode, etc., it doesn't lock into place perfectly. So you have to get everything just right, but the joints themselves stay there, but I wish that they had a locking mechanism similar to the way that you can lock it together when it's in sword mode. And running through it, I think the Delta mode looks the coolest, and the flight mode and the V mode, they sort of suck, so I'm probably never going to use it. But just because I read the manga where they use the big sword, this is probably the mode that I'm going to keep it in most of the time. Now, as for other good points, who can argue with the fact that they give you the Gabera Straight and the Tiger Pierce, and that they are shiny? And I think that that's the Red Frame's biggest feature. So if you took away the tactical arms and just gave me those two swords, or even just one of them, I'd probably be content with this kit. Posability. This kit, well, is there anything you can't do? Anybody who's seen the blue frame has seen that it can put its leg over its head and do everything else. I have been only impressed with this, and I don't feel any of the weakness issues that I've found with Master Grade Exia since so far. So, of course, I'd like to try this out a little bit longer before I make a final verdict on it. But so far, posability is ridiculously great. And final things. What a great build. Everything that I was putting together with this thing, I was just impressed, especially with the legs and the arms, and just that, like, putting in plastic bolts, nuts and bolts made out of plastic itself is just such a huge step up on older Master Grades that you're just going to be impressed when you put this together. And finally, I think it completely captures the feeling of the manga. And ultimately, if I watch a show and I like the anime, then I want that model to reflect how I felt about the suit itself in the anime. And this manga, it comes across. You get sort of the physicality of this suit comes across, and the posability, everything about it just seems cool. Now, dislikes. I think this is pretty simple, but why do I have to go and paint these gold to make them look good? Bandai, if you're going to put in the chrome and charge me 5,000 yen and make these into make parts, why couldn't you just chrome one other plate? I'm not asking for a huge one. That's something that should have been done. So I'm going to have to go fix that up. And my final tiny nitpicking complaint is, what about the effect parts? With the blue frame, you can take off the tactical arms and have them in front, and he sort of has two huge pink blades over his forearms, which look pretty cool. That's something that they could have given us, and maybe I'll just order them myself if I can put this together. So what about the future for Master Grade Red Frames and the frame in general? I think the fact that we got model kits of this is part of Bandai's genius strategy of having a green Zaku and a red Zaku, because then you're going to buy two. And when they made the three frames, and then they added the green one, etc., all that's going to do is sell more molds, or more models of the same mold, which is just money in the bank for them. And in the future, we're going to have more remake possibilities for this Master Grade frame. And the fact that it's such a good one, I actually don't hold that against Bandai at all. I don't care at all about the green frame, but the Amatsu gold frame would be pretty cool in Master Grade, and it's something I'd actually think about getting. Final word, I think that if you bought this kit, you would not be disappointed in it at all. So anyway, everybody, thanks for checking this out. This is, as always, Robert184 from Gundam.tk, and stay tuned for lots more reviews. And I know we're all looking forward to the 00 movie, so September. But we'll have lots more before that for you. Anyway, take care, rate, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Tell your friends, and stay tuned. See ya, everybody. Hey, non-grade Red Frame. Do you know how lucky you are that you weren't here yesterday? Because there would have been a part 1 featuring you in a way that you would not have enjoyed at all.